Hey guys, Haikrazon here with another Platinum Trophy overview, and today we're going over Potion Permit. It's a fun little indie title focused on resource gathering, crafting, and relationship building. But before we get into it, if you didn't see my last video, I am doing a giveaway for this game on PlayStation. The code was provided to me by the dev team, but I'm always going to buy a copy for myself and give away the code. So stick around until the end to see how to be eligible. Like, sub, and comment if you dig the content, and let's get into it. So getting into a quick overview of the game itself and the actual trophies. Like I said in the beginning, it is an indie title that revolves around resource gathering, crafting, and building relationships, and it has absolutely gorgeous pixel art. Honestly, I think that helped me get through the majority of my playthrough with it. Clearly, it's influenced by classics like Harvest Moon, Stardew Valley, games like that, right? The premise is pretty neat. You play as a chemist from the capital that's visiting a small population town, and they're not really into it. They don't really like modern medicine due to some past events you learn about in the game. Honestly, came off a little political, which is hilarious, but I don't think that was really the intention. But everybody does start out hating you and just not being interested, and you got to prove yourself by taking care of the townsfolk when they get sick, and then you can do all the relationship building stuff. You go out into the various biomes, gather your resources, very bare bones combat, really just for more resource gathering, and then typical tools of the trade, and they each progress, taking a little more time, needing better tools, things like that. Typical gameplay loop on this kind of game, right? This allows you to craft potions to treat various ailments through a block placing puzzle that's fairly forgiving until you need upgrades, but it's not too bad in general. The whole time you're building relationships with the characters you either like or literally everyone, including a cat, so that's pretty neat. Not a lot of the trophies come naturally here, so there are things you want to make sure to look out for as you play. If you normally play relationship building games, then you're probably going to be fine, but you do have to hit level 1 with 5 people, level 2 with 10 people, and level 3 with 1, and romancing a character by going on a date with them. It's not a long process, but you definitely got to make sure you're interacting with them on a daily basis and you're not missing out on anybody, and you got to find people, blah blah blah. Curing so many patients takes time, as the flow is pretty low in the beginning and you need to get 50 of them, and you don't get them every day, and in the early parts it's usually only one when you do get it, so that took a little bit of time. Collecting so much of each resource as well as harvesting each resource node, those were probably the biggest time sinks for me, which we'll cover a little bit later. But various miscellaneous trophies like fishing, working part-time at each of the locations, petting your dog, cooking, a bunch of stuff like that, right? Then there's even one for clearing 75 quests from the community board, which is a little on the grindy side because they only refresh weekly and there aren't a lot, maybe like 5, 6, or 7 somewhere in there. Again, another patience one, just letting the days go by. I will say though, as long as you just work on the story and the various NPC quests, you will naturally work towards a lot of these, but most will require actively working on them. Not much really just pops up as you're going through. And on that note, getting into the time factor here, you know, there weren't a lot of guides up when I played through this, so I think it would be safe to say you're going to land between 25 and 30 hours, depending on how much optional content you do. Of course, I mean, you can max out your relationships with every character, totally not necessary. It's going to take a lot more time. And then there's lots of, you know, decorations. You can make your house all nice. So all sorts of stuff you don't need to touch for the trophies as well. But it felt pretty good through more than half of the game for me. I do love resource games, and the art, again, like I mentioned earlier, really had me attached to the game. But the trophies definitely start to hit a pretty gnarly slog near the end. I mean, a lot of the trophies are pretty locked into a once per day cycle kind of thing, which of course leads to just skipping days to do the task again, or something along those lines. Waiting for new patients being one of the bigger ones that was a little annoying. Refreshing the community board being another one, especially because that was weekly, not even daily. You can even only work at the part-time jobs once per day, but you can do all 3 in the day. So that one's just going to happen naturally because it's 15 for each, so 15 days, and you'll be good. But again, it's that locked into the day thing. And I've mentioned in previous videos before that I'm just really not into trophies that require large numbers for individual actions. I'm sure it didn't really take that long to harvest 1,000 plants, stone, trees, and enemies, but it sure as hell felt like it took like a long time. Because it's not quick, it's not long, especially when you have all the gear upgraded. You do find, you know, a routine or a path where you can just run it and knock it out, but it's still, you know, it's one tree. one rock at a time kind of thing, right? The other one, you know, you get a handful of the resources, so that those trophies go pretty quick, but the actual harvesting of the node, that kind of sucked as well. So in general, it was fun for the majority of the platinum length, but it definitely had a face against the wall slog at the end. But that is a lot of games. It's just when it is something where there's a focus on relationship building, the slog kind of sticks out a little bit more. And it was a little rough for me to get, but I still enjoyed a lot of the time with it. Thinking about things that stuck out, there's really not a whole lot here. I think the devs did a great job with the decisions they made, and I respect that. But there are some quality of life decisions that were just a little bit different, and that's for me personally. And again, coming from the mindset of a trophy hunter, not someone just playing the game only for fun. The fishing was not for me. I definitely like, you know, classic Animal Crossing type fishing where you throw it in, you get the notification, you pull it up, right? That's cool. But in this one, there's like an actual struggle against the fish kind of thing. You can break your line kind of thing, which it's not bad. It's not for me. I'm also not hugely into the fishing trophies that a lot of games throw at you. There's a trophy for cooking, which is pretty easy, but it has to be done 50 separate times, which just felt unnecessary because you literally need to watch the animation go through for it to count, because you can cook a stack of something. So if you cooked once but a stack of 50, you would not get it. You need to do that 50 individual times, which again, just weirdly tedious, right, for that to be like that. But again, little complaint, whatever. Forcing days to pass while waiting for more patience. Community board, again, mentioned that earlier. Not a big fan, but you know, not too bad. And again, 1,000 individual harvest of each class of item was just meh. But reiterating that for someone just enjoying the game and really just playing to play, I'm sure a lot of that would just come naturally and not even be thought about on, oh man, this kind of sucks. It'd be more like, oh hey man, I just got that trophy, cool. So as a trophy hunter, little rough. As someone enjoying the game, I think all of that's perfectly fine and acceptable. So wrapping up here, Potion Permit was a very charming indie title that hits a lot of the marks for the people looking for games in this setting. It's not my traditional genre, and the slog was rough, but honestly, again, mentioned it before, the incredible pixel art definitely helped make it through it. Just keep an eye out for certain things while progressing the story. Like, you have to roll 1,000 times, so, you know, just try and roll whenever you can. There's a little bit of a cooldown if you do it too much. That one actually popped pretty early for what I was thinking for being 1,000 times. But yeah, just kind of have the list in mind as you work through things. So, wrapped up on the game, getting into the giveaway. All right, guys, so I am going to be giving this code away to one of you guys. It is for PlayStation, which I believe comes with a PS4 and 5 download. When I purchased it on PS5, it gave me the option for both downloads, so I assume the code does the same thing. This is how I'm going to be handling all dev provided codes moving forward. So all you have to do is like, comment, and subscribe to be eligible. That's literally it. We'll randomly select a winner after the video has been up for about a week, and then reach out to you. We do also have a Discord, which you don't need to join to win by any means, but it would make direct messaging much easier, but that's totally up to you. And again, it's a place where you can just hang out, talk trophies, brag about your trophies, get help, sessions, whatever. It's all going to be trophy hunting. So as always though, I hope this video helped give you an idea of what to expect when tackling Potion Permit. I appreciate the hell out of you guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks.